It says go live, and now action.
All right, people, welcome back to the Kill Box for another episode of Slasher Syndrome. I'm Trent,
It's your boy OG Acid Funk.
and today we're going to be doing The Fifth Element.
So, this is a 1997 film.
It was written, so let's before we even kind of break that down. So this film was written and directed by Luc Besson. Besson, sorry. He actually started. So he started writing this film when he was 16, and the production of the film actually didn't actually happen until he was 38. So this was a long project for him. So he wrote the initial story. The screenplay was written by him and Robert Mark Kamen. Keep in mind, even though this film stars very well-known American actors, this is not an American film. This is
It's a French film, yeah.
French-made, French-written, directed, produced film that was produced by a production company called Gaumont by a man named Patrice Ledoux. Budget was 90 million, and it made a total of 236.9 million.
The
263.9 million.
director of photography, Terry Arbogast. If I pronounce his name wrong, it looks like it might be Terry, but it's with a TH.
No.
Yeah.
At the time, up until 2011, this was the most expensive European film ever made, off a 90 million budget.
David, how did you man, I'm going in here. I'm not all that hip to technology like that. I should be, because I don't know how to find this on here.
Your own site.
Yeah, I just want to. I want to see. I know we live, but I'm cool with that. I'm trying to learn. I don't mind letting people know I'm trying to learn.
I don't have the technical difficulty lines on ready.
No, so I'm asking you for help. Is what I'm doing. What I need to push.
Here, I have you right here. There you are.
I want to have me right here.
Yeah, you just gotta go into your YouTube site and you're ready to rock.
Yeah,
We got three people on right now.
I've done all of that, but I don't know how to find the actual what we're doing right here, right now, live.
Just go to the main page and it should take you to
I would think so, but it's just not doing that.
okay, well,
No, well, we know. Well, yeah, well, we're live, so.
I can take your phone and try it.
Oh yeah.
You can
Yeah.
also put it on your laptop.
Oh no, that's too distracted. I need my notes.
That's
So.
too easy.
Yeah.
And you don't like that. I have no idea.
Okay. Well, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out later.
Well,
All right.
it's working. It's working.
Yeah.
All right.
As we have questions come in, I will.
Yeah.
Or I'll let you guys know. Like Josh is asking, "Hey buddies, love Mila Jarovich." Josh Frisbee's on again, saying, "Let's do it." Okay, so he's already said hello.
That's what's up. What up, Josh?
What's up, man? All right, so you ready to get into the?
Yeah. Let's jump into the cast real quick.
Oh well, man, this cast. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of people who started in this film are no longer with us. So
Yeah.
Of course, we have Bruce Willis. Now, Bruce Willis wasn't when casting was going on between him and Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson eventually turned it down. Bruce Willis was hesitant because of two previous films he did prior to this, but he ended up taking the role.
Okay.
Mila Jovovich, this is basically her breakout film.
Yeah.
Then you have like
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman. Of course, he worked with him before on The Professional.
Yeah.
You have Ian Holm,
Yeah.
who unfortunately passed away about 2 years ago.
And of course, Chris motherfucking insane ass Tucker.
Oh yeah, Chris Tucker, but that's he played Ruby. Casting for that was actually between him and Jamie Foxx.
Oh, okay.
Luke, the director, he liked Jamie Foxx, but he felt that Christopher Tucker more physically, smaller frame, fit the role better.
Yeah.
Yet Tiny Lister Jr. Debo, he played the actual president in this. Again, someone else who's no longer with us. Then we have Brian James. I grew up watching this guy. He watched movies in the 80s, like 48 Hours, another 48 Hours. A lot of them. He was in a lot of movies with Nick Nolte, Eddie Murphy. He was in Tango and Cash with Sylvester Stallone, Kurt Russell. He was a very well-known character actor. He died 2 years after this was made. This is one of his last films. He played General Monroe.
Yeah.
Yeah, go by it. The actor who played Stutter, who we'll get to him when we get to the scene. He was mostly, I remember him from the X-Files, and he's passed away as well. So you have a lot of actors.
Stutter, I don't remember which character.
Yeah, when we get to the scene, I'll remind you. But yeah, you have a lot of actors in this film who are no longer with us. Ian Holm, actually, was the oldest out of that group, and he actually was the one who went last.
Okay.
Tiny died right before because of COVID. Vaccine came out. So yeah, again, a lot of people are in this film who are no longer with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, casting was great. Did an excellent job with the casting in this film. Again, this was Mila's breakout film. Bruce Willis really.
Boy, did she break out too? She's got some iconic shots. Just some still frames from this. Her frame, her physique. And when they talk about the perfect instrument, she embodied all of that. And you talking about breaking out?
Yeah, there's a lot of things when we go through this film. There's a lot of things about the character that really kind of just little things they show in certain bits of the film that show how she is in this film. She is considered as perfect being.
Yeah.
But perfect being yet still very, very human.
Exactly.
So this film starts out in
23rd century.
No, it starts out in the 20th century, 1914, in Egypt. So we start off with we have an archaeology group led by a professor. He's very very obsessed with getting into this pyramid. You have Luke Perry, who was also another person.
Oh yeah,
who is no longer with us.
Yeah.
He is an artist, kind of like documenting stuff for the professor. He's basically just there to get paid.
Yeah, because he's not very interested in what's going on at all.
Then you have this priest who, and you don't know exactly what religion is. You know, he's a priest of some type of religious order. First, he comes in there.
So he's trying to keep them. He's not happy that this dude has found what he's found, and he's a good guy, but he has a cause.
Yeah, has a cause.
Yeah.
So he, once the professor kind of goes over the hieroglyphics, he basically says what they are. They have basically talked about this a perfect being. Every 5,000 years there's this great evil that comes to destroy all life, and they have this perfect being. They have these 4 elements, and this perfect being goes in the middle. This fifth element that's supposed to be the only thing to stop this evil.
And so then here comes the priest with this water that's poisoned.
And he poisoned it, but he only poisoned it after the professor again.
He made some. He made some things. Some things that he wasn't supposed to know. And that's when he poisons the water. And so he's telling, hey, well, let's celebrate your accomplishment. And so they pour water up in cups and they toast.
But he's much like, wait, this is water. We should be like drinking wine. So he pours it out. And then this is when aliens start to come in.
Yeah, the shadow. So now there's this thing. One of my favorite things about this, the opening of this, is something we joked way back in film school. Actually, at UTA, we watched this, and this kid Aziz lights, because this kid they're in this pyramid, whatever this thing is, and so the technique is to take the light from the inside and reflect it, bounce it to where you need it. But the kid keeps falling asleep. So this man to yell at this kid 3-4 times. And so when he yells at him again, Aziz lights, because this shadow is coming down, and it's the spaceship, and it's blocking all the light. And so, but by that time, these lights on the spaceship come on, and the kid, the professor goes, "Oh yes, much better, much better." Yeah. And Aziz, he doesn't see what everybody else sees. Aziz is freaking out. Everybody's like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah. so the aliens come in, and we don't find out till we fast forward to the actual present day, but they're called the Mondosawans.
Yeah.
And again, their purpose is to protect life, protect the fifth element, and protect life, and serve that cause. Um, they come into the pyramid. Professor turns around. Now, I'm not quite sure. Do they kill the professor? Or do they knock him out?
Well,
It's
they
never-
say they always say that he's dead.
Yeah,
Because is it Luke Perry, right?
yeah.
Luke Perry.
They kill the
Yeah,
professor.
his character goes up and checks.
Professor, you
Yeah,
killed
yeah,
him.
yeah. He says you killed him. He goes over to check.
Yeah, so the chamber, the aliens open the chamber, and they bring in, of course, these four blocks
Yeah.
for supposed to be the four elements, and they bring in what looks like a sarcophagus, and they bring it in there, and they sit it in there, and then they explain to the priest. The priest tries to kind of like apologize, people being here, but he's like, none of that really matters. This has to be protected.
Yeah.
And then Luke Perry's character, he pulls out a pistol.
He panics.
Yeah, he panics because I mean, in his position, you completely understand why he could panic.
Yeah. Well, he's a college kid, and he's there to get a paycheck.
Yeah.
And aliens show up, and he don't know what the fuck's going on.
Exactly.
And somebody he trusted killed someone else he trusted.
Because like the priest is the one person that everybody trusts in the
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
He's trying to explain to him that it's not what you think. They're good people. They're they're saviors.
Sorry, I poisoned you. Not too convincing.
Right?
Yeah. So Luke Perry, he trips and the gun goes off, and he fires and it hits the alien, but doesn't do anything to him.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, the
walls
start to close, and the lead Mondosawan, they move very slow because they're like biomechanical creatures.
Yeah.
So he's trying to get to the entrance of the opening, and the priest is telling him to come on, you have to live. He's like, my life's not important. Like all life is important. He puts his hand through the thing, and he
there's
ejects
a key that comes out of his finger.
Exactly, it's actually the key to the actual chamber they're actually in. And then his hands crushed, and he's basically killed inside the chamber. And then the aliens leave, and the priest comes out and says he'll keep his promise. He'll make sure to pass down the knowledge down from him to the next person, and so on and so on.
Yeah, and so there's that part where he tells him he tries to stop them from taking it in the first place, because he's like, well, when they're taking it, so we're taking it. So, well, what about when we, when we need it?
Bring it back.
Yeah, and so we'll be back in 300
I
years.
completely forgot. They took it because this is the aliens know.
Yeah.
World War I's about to break out, and it won't be safe on the planet.
Yeah.
So they take it away. So when the time comes, we'll bring it back.
And it's 300 years later.
Yeah.
And so that's what puts us in the 23rd century. Yeah.
So we're in the 23rd century, and Earth is a united federation.
Yeah.
And they have what they see. It looks like a planet, like a dark planet.
Mm-hmm.
When it's dormant, it's black, it's solid. But when it's not dormant, it's basically a living fire planet.
Yeah, it looks like this molten lava.
Yeah, and like it's a living entity. It's an intelligence.
Yeah.
So you have these Earth Federation ships basically they're surrounding it. They're getting signals off of it, and the guy in charge is the guy I'm talking about, Major Strutter.
Okay, yeah.
So he's in charge and of that group. Well, at the same time, they're communicating back to Earth. We have Debo, who is the president in this film. Then you have
President Debo. I love it.
I forget his actual name.
Yeah, I forget his actual. Oh, it's Cornelius. No, that's not.
No, that's Ian Holm.
Yeah.
But I actually think he's just known as
President Vito.
No, that's
the priest,
that's
Vito Cornelius. Yeah.
No, I think he's just known as the president.
Yeah, it's just president. Yeah.
So they're all, they're getting radio waves off this thing. They're trying to figure it out, but no one's quite sure what's going on.
Yeah.
Then you have eventually Cornelius, Ian Holmes' character, comes in and then he basically tells them
Well,
what
give us
this
a rundown.
he
Hey,
runs
wait
down-
a minute. Don't
yeah,
do that.
This
Yeah.
is their thing. Well, yeah, because their first
They want blasted to
they
hell.
want- yeah, blasted.
Yeah.
He tells them no, you can't. Basically, as he runs down what it is
Yeah.
and the history of what's going on, you can't. He tells them you can't stop evil by doing evil.
Yeah.
Evil begets evil.
Evil begets evil. So what happens?
They end up giving the go ahead anyway. though.
Well, the president gives a go ahead because he's trying to protect the
Yeah.
lives of people on Earth and people on this
Yeah.
federation, basically. So as they are planning this and about to do this, the planet starts to kind of change. Like you
Yeah.
know, it changes, not shape, but the look of it starts to.
And it starts to grow.
Well, it starts to. Well, not
Well, yeah, not yet.
not just yet.
Yeah.
So it goes black first,
Yeah.
like fully black, like I guess like a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
As they're doing this, the president tells Strutter, "I have a doubt," and he says, "I don't," and he fires on it. The first missiles, it basically absorbs it, and then it starts to get bigger, and then Strutter keeps what we have bigger than that. And they fire something else, they have nothing else bigger than that
Yeah.
arsenal.
So what do we have bigger than 240?
240, nothing's bigger than
Nothing,
240.
sir.
So, and as this is going on, the entity, the death ball basically starts to, react.
Yeah.
And in the first reaction is you hear this frequency kind of like screech.
Yeah.
And as it does this, you see blood start to drip from the head of Strutter.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, it blows those ships straight to hell.
Yeah.
The priest tells them about the Mondosalans, about they have the only thing that can stop it.
Yeah.
As the Mondosalans are coming and bound to Earth, they're attacked and blown to hell.
Yeah.
And then the priest collapses in
By
the chair.
they're
He's
attacked by
all
the
Mongolords.
Yeah.
They are a mercenary group.
Mongolors. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a mercenary group for
Yeah.
hire. So the priest thinks all is lost. They didn't blew them up, blew up the fifth element, blew up everything.
Yeah.
But they do find traces of somebody alive from the explosion, the wreck.
Yeah. So what it looks like a gauntlet with the bone, whatever this bone is. It's like this bone is sticking out.
It's
of
like that's just your forearm. But yeah, it's like that. The gauntlet's kind of over, and it looked like it was carrying some kind of case or something connected to it.
But it was enough DNA there.
It was enough DNA, actually twice as much. I forget the exact number, but it was like it was twice as much than we've seen on normal.
They said like 100. I just saw the movie again today, so it's like 200 times something.
Yeah,
And
times
I'm
out of
like,
a human.
What?
Yeah.
They kept showing the DNA strand like.
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
full.
exactly.
Pretty wild.
So they bring what's left of the, and they basically they tell Cornelius that they'll deal with it now. But he's like, but I'm their contact on Earth. He's like,
Yeah.
they're gone now, so you're really irrelevant now. So
Yeah.
bye. This is a government thing now. So they put her in basically this resequencer that can basically reconstruct.
Yeah.
As long as they're living cells, they can reconstruct the body
Exactly.
from that. And we see them, reconstruct her bone structure, musculature, then her skin. And when they the man, but it's a woman.
Yeah, it ends up being a woman,
Yeah.
and she's new.
Bindings
What
on
call
her.
it, the thermal bindings.
Thermal bindings,
Yeah,
basically.
rewound that part.
They put those on her, and then
I gotta say, she looked pretty good.
Yeah.
They grew her back.
Perfect.
nice.
Yeah.
so they, she wakes up and she's gasping for air, trying to get her bearings.
Yeah.
Synapses are firing again, and she's talking in a language that none of them understand.
Yeah.
So at the same time, while she's in there, General Monroe,
Asshole.
he's he's got his hand over the switch. If she reacts the way I don't like her, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you
kill
gonna
her.
delete her ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're trying to talk to her, but she
To them, it's gibberish. As she's talking to them, they don't understand. She's actually, she's trying to communicate with them. They don't understand her, and he tells her, "Hey, look, what?
Swings a little card.
Yeah. If you want to get out,
Communicate.
yeah, learn to communicate. What do you do that for?
She ended up busting through that thing and getting the hell out of there.
Yeah.
I love it when he asks him, like, wait, this is Oh, it's breakproof. They can't get through it.
Yeah.
He punches right
So
through
that's
it.
one thing I love about this movie. That it's so full of contradictions. Every time they say something can be done, somebody does it. Somebody it's not done. There's the one part later on, but somebody says, "Oh, they're sent on a mission to do something." And says, "Oh, it's no way possible of doing it." And as he's saying it, somebody's sneaking behind him doing the thing he says
Yeah.
it's impossible to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like with her character, her in particular, we don't know her name just yet. But we already see her. One, you see she displays significant strength. She breaks out. She goes through the ventilation
Yes, through the
system,
ventilation system.
and she eventually comes out on the side of the building.
She comes, and that's where that iconic shot comes up. I call it the cross. And my favorite part is
I've got
she's
that on right now.
cool. She's standing on the ledge with her arms out, and that shit is so iconic. And that brings to mind another thing that's really captivating about this movie for me is the fucking soundtrack and the score, because the music that's playing right now
Yeah,
at this
it's-
point this is such an intense scene.
No vibe to a
Yeah.
lot of bit of the soundtrack until you get to like False in Paradise.
Yeah,
But yeah, so she decides to dive off, and well, before we even get to
let's talk about Corbin Dallas's
So
intro.
So before we even get to that, we have Corbin Dallas. Now, as you can see, this in the future, this is New York.
Yeah,
New York has become kind of like this this giant,
Metropolis.
it's
no, not a metropolis.
megaopolis.
No, not,
yeah,
not a
like a
megapolis.
mega city.
There's another word.
It's
for
a
it.
Yeah.
Incremopolis. Starts with an E.
Yeah.
I'm pronounced correctly, but it's basically where you have the planet is basically kind of like Coruscant in Star Wars. It's a city. It's a city planet.
Yeah,
But you can see that in this time period when you have these shots of New York, it's very polluted, it's very dirty.
yeah.
Um,
They give you a lot of information in these opening shots and in these scenes when they
everything
first
is
entered.
very commercialized.
So one of the most interesting things I saw that I noted, and they repeat it later again when you see Ruby Rhod. But so one of the first things you see Corbin do, he's got 4 cigarettes in a dispenser,
Yeah, he's trying to quit.
and it's one a day. And then when he gets one out, well, it says 4 a day is what it says on the deal, and so he gets one out. And it's about 3/4 filter, and it's only about 1/4 actual tobacco. And this is, I guess, it's the thing because later on when you see Ruby Rhod smoking a cigarette, his is the same way.
Yeah, that's how they
And
have
so
cigarettes in the future.
yeah,
in that
you
time
learn a
frame.
lot about, because this whole automated home that you have, you learn a lot about how their system works. He's got a buddy that's calling him right now about his cab. Yeah.
Fingers.
And so his buddy is talking to him about, hey, it's time to bring this cab in for inspection. And so even with all of this going on, they're going around the room. He's looking at this picture, this love interest.
So you have a picture of his ex-wife, you have pictures of memorabilia from when he was in the special forces.
Yeah.
Awards he's won. And you see that these apartments are all just one room. It's just one room apartments.
That there's a flood of information there about how they live in this society in this time.
Yeah, everything is very commercialized and very very economic based.
Yeah. That the
Economy
what is it?
based.
Capitalism is the shit right there. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's high capitalism.
I would call it very good world building at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
You pretty much have a good feel for everything that's going on.
Exactly, because they let you know, hey, these are the rules of the world. Because even in that conversation, so Corbin lies about the credits on his driver's license.
5 points.
And
left
so,
on
yeah,
his
you learn even
license.
that. Oh man, they get points on their driver's license, and so his buddy is on there telling him, "Hey, you need to bring your cab over." And he's like, he goes, "You got any points left?" He goes, "Yeah, I got 50." When he actually gets in his taxi,
He has
he's
5.
only got 5. Yeah, and so when this supreme being falls through his cab, guess what? Well, no, it's not that his points didn't go down in.
No, it
This is
didn't.
what happened. Oh, okay, I thought it happened after what happened afterwards.
It went down to 1 point. So when she
Yeah.
crashed into his car,
Yeah.
even though he wasn't at fault, how their system is.
Yeah.
If you're in any kind of action whatsoever,
Yeah.
you're automatically at fault.
Yeah.
So she crashes into the back seat. He has to dive out the way before he hits another flying car. The system automatically tells him that you've been deducted.
Yeah,
4
4 points.
So
So
you're
now he's down to 1 point left
So
on his driver's
He has
license.
to use that point to at least get the car back to the garage.
Yeah.
So at this point in time, again, this is where our two leads
collide
collide with each other,
literally.
literally. So in the scene, he looks at her, and he's already talked about, previously with Fingers, about, he's just searching for one woman,
Mhm.
that one perfect woman.
Yeah.
And he looks at her, and he's automatically smitten with her. And but she's, she's all excited about bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
she's going all
She's
this
super excited, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Yeah, bada bing,
Yeah.
bada boom, yeah,
big
boom."
bada bing, bada boom. But like, but then the cops come, and
Yeah.
they tell her, she's
She's an
wanted.
unauthorized person.
Yeah.
So, but when when she's up on that ledge and they scan the lights on before she jumps, they scan her and she has no ID,
Yeah.
and that is illegal. That's why they after they scan her. So there's some kind of digital, some kind of imprint, something that she's supposed to have where they can ID her with a simple scan, and it didn't happen. So now she's a fugitive.
Yeah, it's probably just like general ID. They probably have everybody just like we have in real life. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have databases like in real life. They have a database, and
Yeah.
I mean, we have retinal and pictures, stuff like
And this is
recognition.
How many years in the future?
300.
We probably got a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot more high-tech stuff.
But what I love about this is there's another scene which shows you her being what she is, because she automatically starts to assimilate the languages by looking at an ad on the thing. She said, "Help me."
Yeah.
Now, does she necessarily know the context of what "help me" means in this case? We're not quite sure.
I think it kind of expresses that because she's in trouble, and of all the shit that's in that cab, that's the one thing she focused on, and you could tell that she wasn't certain that that's what it means, but she was hoping that maybe that was what it means.
No, I'm thinking it was because, again, that's the only thing in there with actually written language at the time, so she can accept that, and she's able to assimilate the vowels and phonics of the word, because again, she's talking her language, and I guess she assimilates that pretty quick, so she thinks by speaking in his language, okay, somehow communicate. Unfortunately,
I think also by speaking his language, she's hoping to get a little empathy from him.
possibly. But whether it's fate or whatever,
Of course, it's fate. So that's all in the writing, right? She is the supreme being. She's the perfect creature. He just told Fingers, "I'm looking for the perfect woman," and the perfect woman, literally, how many times have we all wished this? Man, I wish I had the perfect woman. And she literally fell in his lap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right,
And
right.
so they it was definitely fate. Yeah.
Okay, guys, I have a question.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got a lot of questions coming up.
Okay.
And do we want to wait? Well, one from Jose Nieto. What do you think of the world building in the Fifth Element? We just answered that. I guess it came.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, keep in mind, this film. So he started writing this when he was 16, and this was originally a 400-page script.
Yeah.
So if you have originally a 400-page script, if there's no world building in there,
Yeah, for real.
what the hell you read?
Yeah.
But world building in this is very, very good.
Yeah, very good. The storytelling is very good.
I mean, like with this film, it's either you either love this film or you hate this film. Because it won awards where it was like the worst film made and had, but it made so much money. So it's one of those films where either you love this film or you can't stand it.
Yeah.
Like Gary Oldman, I don't think he really cares for this film. Bruce Willis is one of his favorite films he's ever done.
Yeah.
Well, it's so unique and fun. There's so many. Like my brother and his wife at the time saw the film, and they're like, "Is it science fiction or is it comedy? Why is that a problem?"
Yeah, why is that a
Because
problem?
It's so unique.
Exactly.
I love the film. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And I don't care what genre it is.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. I agree. I love it since it came out. I saw it when I was a kid when it came out. So Corbin. Oh, we have another question. Go ahead, answer.
I just didn't know what.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Let's go ahead and answer like two more questions, and then we'll get the rest at the end.
Comments here. What was the best scene from the movie? You get me, and that's from Antonio Arreguin, former student.
Okay. Antonio, I'll tell you what, man. When we get through breaking this film down, we'll tell you what our favorite scenes are.
Yeah. What are your top 5 sci-fi movies? That's from Josh. We could get to that
Yeah, let's get to that at the end also.
Yeah,
But what I'll do is, if there's a question here
Yeah.
that is pertinent to what we're talking about at that moment, I will interrupt. And
All right.
That's fine.
pitch the question.
Yeah,
That'll work.
but trust me, guys, we'll get back to your question at the end.
Yeah.
So at this point in time, Corbin, I mean, he's got 1 point. He's basically like, look, I can't afford to fuck up.
Yeah, lady, you about to ruin my life. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, but she's steadily in the back saying,
Please
"Help me!" She's crying at this point in time.
Please help.
Yep. So he basically he straps on his belt and says, "Fuck it," and
Yeah.
he takes the cops on a merry chase through above and below.
So we learned something else on this chase about the future. McDonald's has survived
Yeah.
you know,
Of all places.
of the
Yeah.
fast food wars, I
McDonald's
guess.
is still
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
McDonald's is still humping.
And so you know, you got these cops who are getting McDonald's. They don't want to do shit. They ain't like, fuck that. We
Yeah.
gotta get food.
Here's another example of that those contradictions, right? As the cop says, I'm not doing shit today, and he said he grabs that, and then whoa, yeah, you are, buddy.
And here's another thing too. Like he says, if you know, usually if you go a certain speed, eventually or go a certain distance, the cops just say fuck it and let you go.
Yeah,
That's what
and-
Corbin
and
said.
that was another
Yeah.
contradiction.
They
Yeah.
after the first mile,
Yeah.
they don't chase
Yeah, but in this situation, what just happened, and plus you got this is I mean, the president is involved with this shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, they ain't gonna stop.
Yeah.
So they chase him, but he goes all the way to the lower parts of the city where
Yeah.
it's all just dirty pollution and shit.
Yeah.
And they basically hide out down there for a bit. And
Now here we got to really give it up on the CG and the cinematography or whatever was going on in this scene, this conversation in this cab that is vertical.
yeah,
He had to climb into the back seat like he's climbing down a ladder. You know,
Yeah.
it's like this cinematography, these shots over the shoulder at each other,
okay, so,
amazing shots.
so majority of this film was filmed in Pinewood Studio. They filmed the Egyptian scene. I think that was filmed somewhere, may not necessarily in Egypt, but somewhere
Yeah,
in that area, in that region.
Yeah.
But most of it was filmed in England, on their soundstage where
Yeah.
you know 007. They filmed a lot of Star Wars there, and well, everyone knows if you know film, you know Pinewood Studios is one of the most famous studios in the
Star
world.
Wars film, like you said.
Star Wars, all the 007 films were there. I mean, Pinewood, 007 basically built that studio.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so she's knocked out in the back seat, and he goes in there and to check on her. She says Cornelius, so he takes her to the priest.
Yeah.
The Cornelius. Now he's there, and of course
He's got his young
his protege.
yeah.
Just got a comment from Josh here. McDonald's will always survive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're global.
Yeah.
So he takes her there, and you know, he puts her on the couch, and Cornelius and his protege, they go in the back room. They're all, you know, get, you know, in their ceremonial robes. and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
So while they're in there, Corbin looks at her and he decides to give her a kiss. She immediately pulls that pistol, puts it to
Yeah.
her head,
Yeah.
and she starts saying all kinds of shit.
She
to
just
him.
starts going off, kind of, yeah, reminds me of Ricky going off on Lucy, except it's the other way around this time.
Yeah,
The redhead's going off on the guy this time.
Yeah, and then the priest come out. He's dressed in full garb and everything. They basically push Corbin out before he leaves. She said this. What is it? Not without my permission.
He's like, yeah, I kind of figured that.
Yeah. So they close the door on that, and
So Lilo is in there. She's learning history and kung fu, and
she's assimilating.
and she's eating like a fucking pig. Look like she done ate a whole pterodactyl or something. The place is full of bones. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I like their instant food.
yeah.
Yeah.
A little grain like this, he puts it in. Oh, yeah, I don't know what she's saying.
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
like, yeah.
That's. I
Love
mean,
that.
that's probably. I mean, I think that's probably inspired by Back to the Future Part 2.
Oh, it's gotta be.
Uh,
I love that. Instant food.
Yeah.
So next that she's kind of breaking things down to Cornelius from her point of view and what happened. So yeah, the
Yeah, because
monologue-
he asked her about the stones. Where are they?
Yeah. So she basically runs down what happened. You know, the Mongoloids they attacked the ship, they blew up the ship. But the stones were not there. The stones were given to somebody that the Monosaurs trusted.
Yeah.
This is basically where Zorg, Gary Oldman's character, comes in.
Yeah. So let me say a few things about John Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg.
Hang on, before you do that,
Yeah.
The priest makes a reference of there was supposed to be like an art or book dealer who came by to talk to him before, and this is where we get leading into Zorg.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So what I love about this scene, so Zorg, just like saying his name, I love how creative these people are. Just like saying the name Zorg, the O stands out. So when you're in his universe, there's a theme of circles all around him, even in his name, even in the logo of his name on the building. And when you go into his office, there's all these round shapes and linear shapes. The window is round, and when you go into that window where he stands in front of it, I guess there's a mountain range, or either there's a bunch of buildings that kind of resemble a mountain range, and they make a little shadow in that window. And when we transition out of the scene, they use a match cut because you will see that planet again, and it looks just like his window in there. But the whole while you're in his office and you're in his universe there, the whole thing changes to circles. You got to pick up on those things.
Yeah. So we meet him, and then he's got implants. Well, we don't know if something happened to him or he just did it to himself.
Yeah, because it looks like he's got this dog collar thing on that kind of cracks me up, and I'm like, man, what's in this thing?
Yeah, and like
very unique costume in there,
and like also the accent too. Like Gary Oldman's always been great at
he's an awesome actor.
Doing different accents. He's British, but he's great at doing different dialects in American English, and he's just brilliant. But so he has this southern kind of accent.
It does have a southern feel to it.
He lives in New York. As far as we know, he lives in New York. So we meet him, and you automatically get the sense this dude is just no nonsense kind of guy.
Oh yeah,
people do not fuck with this dude. So we find out that he is actually the ones that hired the Mongoloids to basically hijack the stones.
So this is my favorite part, is the ZF1 sales pitch. And so he is pitching this this beautiful piece of machinery to them, this gun to them, and they all applause and stuff. And so the case is empty, right?
Before this is another running theme in this film. Motherfuckers don't know how to check shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they don't know how to check shit. So there was supposed to be a deal, right? You bring me this, bring me that.
I give people these weapons.
Yeah. So it comes up, the box is empty, the case is empty. They think he thinks he has the stones.
So quick interruption.
Yeah.
Josh, that's his favorite scene when he presents the gun.
Oh yeah. The ZF one,
every gadget.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he demonstrates it and everything. It's what gets it. The clincher for me is how they all stand around and applaud. These are a bunch of big, ugly mongoloids, right? The big, brutish looking. And when he finished that thing, they applaud like they in high society.
Yeah. Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
And then like the one thing his character always says throughout the film is, I'm very, very disappointed. So when he says I'm very, very disappointed, somebody's gonna get killed.
Yeah. It ain't that he's just saying I'm very disappointed. It's just that I'm very disappointed, and there are going to be repercussions. That's the part he's not saying. But so when he walks out of there, it's the whole deal is that it's the little red button, and he goes, "Those guys aren't killers," and he was like, "Well, what do you?" Asked about the button, and so of course somebody got curious. This is the dumbest looking one of them. Boom.
And at the time you think it kills all of them. So at that point in time, he gets a call, or getting close to this, but he does end up getting a call from the actual entity of the death planet. Basically asking where the stones are at. And he tells them they'll be in, I'll have them very soon. But he actually basically tries. He tried
to up
negotiate for more. He's
Tried to up the price on it.
The NC tells them, no, money is no problem. It's no issue. I want those stones.
No. So I would have had a problem with what he actually said. He said, money is of no concern. Like, motherfucker, please. Money is of a high concern. That's why I'm doing this shit. Money of no concern. No. Yeah, we got to talk about that.
But I mean, the thing is, though, like, you know, Zorg's so fucking stupid
Yeah.
that, you know, he doesn't realize that.
This is not a person. This motherfucker don't have pockets.
Yeah.
He ain't got
Yeah.
no bank account.
Yeah, and the money is no concern because once I get those stones, I'm
Yeah.
killing all y'all.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So, you know.
So well, usually the term is money is of no issue. Money is no issue. That's usually, but when motherfuckers say money is of no concern, oh, we got a problem. That's the whole point of our interaction here. You know what I'm
Should have
saying?
been maybe a red flag for him. but
Exactly. It should have been. That's my whole point. It should have been a red
He
flag.
doesn't care about the money.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Well, I mean, it's obvious to the audience
Yeah.
what that means.
Yeah.
But when you have a greedy fool like Zorg,
There you go.
that doesn't matter. You
Yeah.
know? Of course, while he's telling him what those stones, you have that pitch again, and you see Zorg start bleeding from the top of his head.
Yeah.
So then we basically Corbin. He's in his apartment. Mentioning, you know,
He met a girl.
girl and
Yeah.
starts to describe her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I get you. And then at the same time,
Oh, that planet's name. That planet. They call that planet Mr. Shadow.
Mr. Shaw, yeah. So at the same time, Lilu, she again runs down everything what happened with them. The Mondersons gave the stone to somebody they trusted. This person is on Floston Paradise. So it's like so you have now at this point in time, you have all these groups. Basically, it's a race now.
Yeah.
So you have the military having their plans. You got Cornelius and you know with Leo having their plans. You got Zorg with his plans, and then you find out that the Mongoloids, their leader, a few of them didn't actually die. So now they got a plan.
Yeah, they want some get back.
Yeah, so you got like 4 different groups basically, you know, all
converging in one spot.
Exactly. So the government comes up with an idea. Well, we got Ruby Rise, he's got this whole Floston Paradise thing. We're gonna hijack that shit. I'm gonna have President talks to Monroe. Y'all need your best operative to do this.
And who is that?
Corbin Dallas. So they go to Corbin's. Well, first they announced that Corbin's won the Floston Paradise.
Yeah.
So Corbin's at his house.
Corbin don't know what's going on.
His
Even
mama
called bitching him.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, Mom. She complained about
I deserve to go on.
I was in labor with you for all my.
I should have closed my legs when you was born.
It's all kinds of crazy shit.
She's going off on it.
And then next thing you know, Monroe comes with the mission, tells him what's going down. You know, we need you to do this mission to save the world.
Yeah.
We're gonna get you to Floston Paradise. This here is gonna play your wife. He looks at her like, no. That's no one's gonna believe that shit. Next thing you know, as he's talking to them, gets a ring at the door. Who is it?
Shit.
Is Lilu and Cornelius.
And Cornelius got a plan.
Yeah. So Corbin's like, well, shit, man, I gotta hide you guys. I'm seeing somebody. You know, she doesn't like the military. She knows how the military ruled my first marriage.
He stuffs them. So everything in this apartment retracts.
Yeah.
The floor,
the
refrigerator.
yeah.
You know,
The shower
retracts.
is atop the refrigerator.
Yeah.
So he puts them in the refrigerator and closes it down to the shower, basically. He opens the door, Lilo and them come in. These fools the priest tries to take his shit, put the pistol to it, try to take his shit.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you got the police coming in there. So he's like, he puts her in the shower, puts him in the bed, close everything, puts the hand on the wall. Because the police, if you don't have your hands on the wall, is kicking your door and shoot you.
Yeah. And apparently one of his neighbors was just acting bad or something.
Well, actually,
smoke you.
Yeah.
Got him.
Yeah. Actually, we even talk about in the very beginning how when we first meet Corbin, when he goes to leave, dude has a picture of
Yeah.
his fucking
Oh yeah, on
the
the helmet.
hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he opens the door. He's like, "Give me the cash."
Yeah. So that's when they first show that Corbin is a badass,
Because
right?
he talks to him like, you
Yeah.
didn't load the gun. It's about that thing.
Makes him all nervous.
Pulls the pistol on him, takes the gun. You see, he has all these guns collected in the house.
Yeah.
Dude's in the hallway just dancing and shit. Like, that's a pretty nice. Thanks.
This guy has some kind of problem.
Well, man, these people are
Yeah, he's a tweaker or something. He's on some kind of space age
like
drug.
zip head or something.
Yeah,
They're all
yeah.
even the dude in the room, he was fucked up. He's trying to shave and shit.
Yeah.
So cops. So so Corbin put his name tag on from his apartment on that guy's shit.
Yeah.
That's how they thought it was him. So
Yeah.
the cops take him, and as the cops are dragging him out, Mongoloids, who are also shapeshifters,
Yeah.
come in there, kill the cops, and take him. Next thing you know, Priest is about to suffocate, so he
lets him out. No, Lilo reminds him. Lilo's like Priest.
Cornelius, he says Cornelia because she's covered in
Yeah.
water from the shower.
She's wet from being in the shower. Cornelius is about to suffocate.
Yeah.
So she
Yeah.
lets Cornelius out.
And he's about to suffocate, so
Yeah.
he opens that up, and Cornelius sees like this cross on the thing. He
On the
does-
mantle,
He
yeah.
does a little cross himself, takes it and clocks Corbin with it. Takes his
Takes his ticket.
it's his ticket, and then he leaves. Corbin wakes up, opens the fridge. General, the old girl, like
Frozen shit.
So he takes it. I'll take the mission. And again, next thing you know, we have all of them going to basically kind of the airport, basically.
Okay, so this is one of my favorite scenes here when they're getting here to this airport, because these sequences, let me find it here in my notes so I don't screw this up. So everybody's converging on this plane. Now we first see Ruby Rod in this transition, right? And he's going through and he's just spectacular and wowing everybody, and he's in this motherfucking cat suit.
Yeah.
with this big collar and this cool. Y'all seen the movie, y'all know the hairdo, y'all know
And that's one of the main reasons why he chose Tucker for that role, because he physically fit the character how he saw it.
Yeah. And so he Ruby Rod rolls up on this flight attendant and he says some like slick shit. And so I was looking around searching for some image, and I saw this image because that's exactly what I thought of. He was this androgynous character. And on this, when I was looking up this information, I saw the split screen with Ruby Rod and Prince on the other side, because that's the way he floated up to this.
Prince was originally cast for the role.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's he dropped out or something happened. And
Okay.
then they went to Jamie Foxx and Chris Tucker.
Okay. And so, but the way Ruby Rod slid up to this flight attendant, he just started spitting this pimp game in her ear, and she was like, "Oh!" And then he was doing the lips like Prince. You know what I'm saying? And I was just cracking up on this thing. But while all this thing is happening, you got this vaudeville type shit going on with all these motherfuckers trying to get on the plane.
Wait, well, before we get to that part, because I forgot, there's one more scene with Zorg. So Zorg, they find out that again, whoever the Monosolans, their contact was, that Lost in Paradise. So he sends his subordinate.
Oh yeah, they go and get the priest.
They go get the
Cornelius.
Priest,
they snatch him up.
He's like, "You're the art dealer," and then Zorg is all trying to be big shit. He eats something and he starts.
It's a cherry.
He starts
he's choking on a cherry.
And Cornelius basically starts talking shit to him. He's like, he basically says, everything you built.
Yeah.
All this all come crashing down over a
cherry. And this is the scene you see with all the fucking circles in the office and stuff like that. And this little what do you call it? What's this little thing's name? This little looks like a little miniature rainbow striped candy striped elephant.
Yeah, I forget what they're called.
Long nose.
Yeah, with the long
I forget what they're called.
I've got the picture.
Okay.
I'm choking.
Yeah. But Cornelius comes over there, slaps him on the back. Cherry comes on. And he says, "That's the reason why he doesn't kill him." He's like, "You saved my life. So I'm gonna allow you to keep yours for now."
Yeah.
And he says to him, your whole kingdom or your whole enterprise, something comes crashing down over one
cherry. Yeah.
So, and then they find out about, again, Lost in Paradise. So he sends a subordinate. He says, either come back with stones or don't come back at all.
Yeah.
And so then the
So
montage
yeah,
starts.
so then we're back at this vaudeville type thing, this race to get into this plane.
So first you have Cornelius. You have, I remember I think his name was David. I think his
the protege.
protege.
Yeah,
And he says, "You're gonna be Lilu's husband. You're gonna be
Yeah.
Corbin."
yeah.
He says, "You're younger. You know."
You can get away with
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
So he sends them there. And then as they're talking to the flight attendant at the window, you can already tell David's nervous. He can't
David
really
scared
speak.
the motherfucker.
He sees Corbin run
Yeah.
up on him, and he's
Corbin plays it smooth.
Yeah.
Whoo! Hey, thanks, man. I
Yeah.
sent him and just pushes
Yeah.
his ass out. Yeah, I sent him because I had to park the car, or whatever he
Yeah.
said, something like that. And so he gets in there.
Yeah.
So now, seconds later, here comes this.
he comes to the Mongoloid. So
Yeah.
they took the disguise of the guy that the cops took, thinking it
Yeah.
was him.
Yeah,
But he can't hold the form, and as they scan him, they
Yeah.
show that he ain't human.
yeah,
So he decides he's about to lose his form, so she just pulls him away. And as they are going away, cops starting to follow them.
Yeah.
They say fuck it. They start blasting and dive into this big ass trash pile.
yeah. And so so while all of this is going, Ruby Rod is going down on his flight attendant. And so this Mongoloid, when he's having trouble getting on the flight, Zorg, he's like, hey, look, man, there's no way I can get on this flight.
No, you're talking not the Mongoloid. That's the subordinate. So the subordinate comes there last, saying, you know, I'm Corbin Dallas, but the flight we already had like 2 or 3 other people
Yeah.
come here. Corbin Dallas are on the plane.
Exactly.
He's like, this is a bunch of nonsense. I'm
Yeah,
Corbin
he's
Dallas.
starting to get crunk. And
Yeah.
apparently they don't play that on this airline.
So she goes down get on the plane.
Yeah.
He's banging on the glass. Next thing you know, the
These
guns
things come out
Yeah.
with guns on them. It's
And
like,
if you don't touch the circles, you about to die.
yeah, yeah.
So he does that, and then that's when he calls Zorg.
He calls Zorg, and while he's calling Zorg, telling him it's impossible to get on the plane, the priest runs and climbs up the landing gear and
Yeah.
gets on the plane,
Exactly.
and Zorg blows his ass up for
He said-
failing him.
And what does he say? I'm very disappointed. He pushes in the
So-
code, and that phone
Zorg's
line
having
blows
a
up.
rough day. This ain't the first motherfucker Zorg done blew up today.
Yeah. So everyone gets on the plane. Though they're having a little walkthrough, with Corbin. Corbin, he's very, he's there for a mission. He ain't there for vacation or radio shit. He's
Yeah.
just there to get the job done.
Yeah.
Ruby's trying to get him to talk. He's like, I'm thrilled.
He's got one word,
word.
and it's pissing Ruby off. But Ruby's playing it smooth. He's
Yeah.
playing it cool.
And the moment he goes off of his station for that night, he gets the cigarette. He's smoking.
And you said again, it's that same 3/4 filter.
And what was that? And he's trying to talk to him. You gotta do this, do that. You can't be. I gotta show. Corbin basically hems him up in the corner. And listen here.
Yeah. Grabs him by the throat, lifts him off his feet. Look here, you fuck face.
Yeah.
Somebody called him.
He's like, listen, look, I'm here to do my thing. You gonna do your thing. We gonna be cool. You mess. I can't remember the exact word. Basically,
Yeah.
said, leave me alone.
Yeah.
I'll leave you alone. You fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck you up. Basically. And Ruby's like, cool. So
Green. That's what he always says, isn't it? Green.
Yeah.
Green, yeah.
Something like that.
We green? Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
green.
So, they get on. So Corbin gets on his, I don't know, bed.
Yeah, I guess this is like their little cubicle. It's
Yeah,
a little
basically.
that's basically their their sleeping quarters.
Well, I
and it's
mean-
just that. It's enough space to sleep.
I mean, this is like there. This is. I mean, there is inner flight to space. Is not
Intergalactic.
It's not interstellar. I mean, because it's. I actually know this is Earth. I don't know exactly.
Yeah,
Boston Parallels.
we don't really know exactly where the fuck they are.
Yeah, they always know that they talk about hyperlane? Was it
Yeah.
hyperlane?
Something like
Yeah,
that.
hyperlane. So they took basically if people are knocked out while they're on the trip, it's
Yeah.
just better for them, I guess.
Yeah, it
'cause-
makes it seem a lot quicker.
yeah.
Because he tried to protest a minute, he didn't get a chance. She pushed the button and there was a
He
gas
was
bam.
out.
His ass was
I'm
knocked
sure
out.
It's just about space.
Yeah.
They want to have you in a very small space for the trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like an Avatar of the film. They put you in a little pod thing.
Yeah.
And wake you up later.
Yeah, so we eventually get the Floss in Paradise, and then
The
We-
divas coming in.
we learn that the as they're going into the place and everything, we learn that the contact is there.
Mm.
Plata
Plata Diva.
No, diva. She's a
Plata-
diva. She's a diva, as in she's a singer, but her name
Mm.
is Plata Vanana or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But they say that that is the contact, and they'll meet you.
Mm.
Eventually they'll meet you. So
As the diva's loading in, one of her entourage just goes to this random wall. She just I guess the way they
No.
shot it, it looks like the diva could sense, or maybe she knows telepathically or something. I don't know that Lilu was behind that wall. Because the diva just looks at the wall, and then she looks at the girl, and the girl goes to the wall.
Well,
She doesn't even turn the corner.
Most likely, she was already the contact for them. So most likely in between stuff we saw, they probably some kind of communication between Lilu, Cornelius, and them before we get there.
Yeah.
Since they already had that set up before the Monostrons were even coming to Earth.
Yeah.
So but yeah, so she tells you, she'll meet with you later, give you the stuff. So everything, they have this opera going on.
Yeah.
He's already gonna be the celebrity. We go there, we see all these celebrities, right? You got this one guy named Ray who's basically deaf.
And then you got the dumb motherfucker that's an actor.
That's the same guy.
The same guy.
Oh, okay.
That's Ray.
I didn't know he was deaf. He's not deaf.
He's tone deaf.
Yeah.
Oh, tone deaf. Yeah, tone deaf. Yeah.
Is it stone deaf or tone deaf?
Well, I think he's stoned. I think the dude's always high. That's why he's so dumb. Because he says he makes some kind of suggestion about his drug use when he walks in and introduces the big buff guy with the white shirt on the pot. Yeah, he makes some kind of suggestion about his drug use, and it's apparent because when he tells him to throw him the gun, he rolls a pool ball to him instead. This motherfucker's high.
But
He's just really dumb.
Or both.
No, he was not. He could have been on drugs, but the thing was, he is deaf. That's what in that scene he's trying to. He's every time you speak to him, he's like, "Huh." He can't hear.
Yeah. I don't know. I always thought it because he said something about him.
He was deaf. Dude had issues hearing. But yeah, and you get like you meet this Ruby. You talk about this one chick who's the daughter of this minister or something that he basically had a couple of rounds with.
Oh yeah, then he plays the voice of her moaning during sex. Yeah.
So when he asks Corbin how he feels about it, he says thrilled, and they sit down, get ready for the show.
And he was pissed again.
And but when the show starts, you have her on stage, and it's a beautiful performance, as a production wise and visually.
Yeah.
And
showstopper.
Corbin is actually very enthralled with the performance.
Yeah.
But this is when the Mongoloids, they're in the sky as servers, and they're kind of getting the lay of the land.
Yeah.
And then when they go back,
he tells them, let's get this party started.
It's time. And he's actually the Mongoloid leader.
Yeah.
So when the show is over, they come out shooting. They come out and they shoot her. And she gets shot in the gut and goes down. And then they kind of start taking hostages and stuff like that. Corbin gets her off the stage, and he's talking to her. One of the Mongoloids comes up, Ruby's flipping out at this point in time.
This dude is so motherfucking funny, man.
Corbin gets the Mongoloid down, gets the pistol, tells Ruby, if he moves, shoot him.
And so at this point, they're getting word back to the president, what's going on.
Yeah.
And the boy's like, yeah, don't worry, my man's gonna calm the situation. I know my operative. He's gonna calm the situation down. Another one of those contradictions, because did he calm shit down? No, he set it off. He set it off like
you call that taking care of it.
But before we get to that, well, he has her on the ground, the singer. She's talking to her. She's talking to him about Lilu. She needs your help and your
love. Yeah.
Because even though she is the supreme being, she is still very, very human. Very, very. She's vulnerable.
Yeah.
So she tells Corbin, the stones are in me, and then she dies. And then he's looking around. He
thinks it's some kind of riddle at first, and then he's like, maybe literally, I don't know.
Yeah, so he digs his hand through the bullet hole and Ruby's watching like, what the fuck? So
I didn't sign up for this, man.
Yeah, he pulls the stones out, and everything. And then when he gets them all out, he says try to get Ruby's attention. Ruby, jerks and pulls the trigger and kills the Mongoloid.
Yeah.
And this is what gets the other Mongoloids who were actually about to leave the auditorium to come back and do another sweep.
Yeah.
So Corbin grabs Ruby and says, "You protect these stones with your life," basically. And then of course, this is when the shooting. This is when the shootout starts.
Yeah.
So you get this whole bit, montage, Corbin, being a badass, killing Mongoloids. He goes out into the lobby. They got fucking high artillery weapons and shit.
Yeah.
He's dodging over the place, shooting that shit. This is where we have the scene where he loses the gun. He tries to get Ray to give him the gun.
Yeah,
give him the fucking
he rolls a pool ball. So so even if you deaf, the dude still has to be dumb. Because let's say he is deaf. If you're in trouble and there's a gun and a pool cue over by you, and we're all in trouble, and I'm doing like this.
No, the dude's definitely an idiot.
He's an idiot.
But yeah, but it's so that happens, and then eventually, Corbin deals with the Mongoloids in there, and then they go. They're going off to the next room. Before that, we transition to Lilu.
Yeah.
Okay, she sees the Mongoloids. They're still searching for the stones.
Yeah.
Right? So they go into the room she's hiding in, and she has flashbacks of them blowing up the actual ship she was on.
Yeah.
She comes out, and she's been studying Bruce Lee Kung Fu.
Oh yeah.
She comes out and just whips the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And she gets the box, but at this point in time, Zorg is like,
he's on his way.
Like, fuck it.
I'm gonna have to do it myself.
Yeah. Gets there and then sees Lilu. She docks first.
Yeah.
And he kills a bunch of people. And then that happens when he comes back. Never mind. So he gets there, sees Lilu with the box, and they think
this big ass chest.
Yeah. And he's like, give me that box. So she tosses up in the air, takes off, and jumps up into the ventilation shaft. He grabs the box, shoots at the ventilation shaft, trying to kill her.
Yeah.
Sets the fucking bomb on the fucking door because he hears the shooting. That's my cue to go. Leave.
So that's let me step up the pace or something.
Yeah. And puts the bomb on the door, and it, gets out, gets all the way into a ship. Just like before, you're pissed off at the Mongoloids, you be pissed off yourself. You did not check the box before you left.
Right.
Open the fucking box. There's no fucking stones in there.
And he freaks the fuck out.
And why are in those stones? Because Corbin has the stones downstairs.
Yeah.
So he leaves, has to come back. So at this point in time, Corbin's going to like the main control area where they the last Mongoloids and took hostages with their leader, and he's asked for a negotiator. And the guy
the little guy that whose job it is that works there is scared to death.
I think he's like the first mate. I think the ship's captain's dead. I think he's like the first mate. And he's like, have you? I never negotiated before. He's
like, hey, you mind? Do you mind?
Like,
okay.
And then he goes in there because the Mongoloids, they're chain of command. Without a leader, they give up.
Yeah.
So he walks in there, puts a bullet through the leader's head. Does anyone else want to negotiate? No, we good. We good, man. We good. So they're looking for Lilu, because like the priest tries to apologize to Corbin. He's like, "Where you done look for Lilu? Why?" He's like, "Lilu, is she in trouble? When is Lilu not in trouble?"
Yeah.
So they find the room that's been shot up. They go there.
Corbin goes in. Ruby looks at the door. Come.
No, to the priest. He come in. He said, "It's." He's like, Corbin, you know how to disarm this? And Corbin don't say shit. So they're like, the Ruby's like, no. That was a bomb. Like, but the bomb.
Yeah.
And next thing you know,
another
go off.
Yeah. Another contradiction. As soon as he said that, it happens.
This is something I love about the acting in this film.
Yeah.
The way these actors approach their characters. Everyone's got a nervous tick of something.
Yeah.
They, like Cornelius, the priest. I mean, he just and the kid David. Everyone, like you said, the one sailor who's in charge at the end.
Yeah.
When he first meets the diva, he's all nervous.
Yeah. He's in awe. Yeah.
And that fits with when you see him again later.
Yeah.
And also, I was going to mention too. I mentioned this to Terrence earlier. The explosion that they have in that main room when he's fighting.
The Mongoloids
Yeah.
and the main like the
explosion-
atrium area.
Yeah, that was the largest explosion ever inside for a film, ever. And I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
I guess that woke up some people.
I mean, that was no CGI with that. That was all
That was
practical
the real-
effects. All
Yeah.
practical effects.
And I like how he cuts through the ceiling with the machine gun
Yeah.
so that Ruby can
Yeah.
fall through.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
the scream is
The
so
scream,
awesome.
yeah. I was like, man,
Yeah, I
love it.
mean, maybe that's Chris Tucker though. Well, that's Chris Tucker back in the day.
back in the day, yeah.
So, they're trying to get the fuck off the ship. So the moment they get on the elevator to go down,
Yeah.
Zorg is coming up.
Yeah.
So Zorg goes back in the room. He puts the gun down, and he's like 5 seconds left.
Yeah.
And he slides the card down into the thing,
And
Pops it in.
and he stops it
Yeah.
and he's like,
and then like the Mongoloid. Well, while they're doing that,
yeah,
Corbin and the group they get off the elevator. They see Zorg's ship. They take his ship.
yeah.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Take it.
Then the one of the Mongoloids who's still alive
Yeah.
turns her over and says for the honor.
Yeah.
And twists
Sets
click,
off a grenade.
and then the bomb. They left the bomb in the room. They originally were in there with Lilu.
Yeah.
It comes up. He stops his bomb at 5 seconds, and
Yeah.
this bomb has 5 seconds.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And then
I love it.
and so that place, old Floston ship gets blown to shit, and he hits Corbin at the last second, kind of hits the thrusters, and they get out of it
Yeah.
before they cut him explosion. So they're on the ship, and he's kind of talking to Lilu. She hasn't gotten through the whole. She knows English. Previously when they're actually on first going to Floston,
Yeah.
she speaks complete English, and she tells her she's basically assimilated English language and history. She hasn't gotten past W yet.
Yeah.
Then while they're on the ship going back to Earth, everything that's happened to her in the last hour, she types in war,
Mhm.
and she looks through human history of war.
Yeah.
And
And then she wonders what's the point.
and it basically it destroys her. I mean, she sees what people do to each other, and she
Yeah.
breaks out in tears. And then we find out that Mr. Shadow and the Death Planet is on a collision course straight for Earth.
Yeah, so here we go again. We talk about these elements pretty much on all these films when we had that countdown, right?
Yeah.
We see the clock has started ticking. It's one of those elements to ramp up the
Tension.
ramp up the pace, ramp up the tension. We've raised the
And it
stakes
raises stakes, yeah.
and the pace of the film.
And the pacing in the film is actually pretty good from beginning to end.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about this is the part where the pace when you start working
yeah,
against
yeah,
the clock, the pacing of the editing starts.
Yeah, I'm
picking
just
up.
saying the overall
Yeah.
pacing of this film
Oh yeah,
is
excellent.
really good.
Yeah.
So they get on the phone with the president. That says, it's coming to Earth. It's
At 57 minutes
57
till
minutes.
massive fireball reaches Earth.
Yeah, we'll call you back in an hour.
Yeah.
That's what he
Yeah,
did.
they said, well, he said we'll call you in 2
2
hours. He
hours.
said, yeah.
So they hightail it to the Earth. They go to Egypt. They go to the temple.
Yeah.
They open it. They got the stones. They set them up in place, but nobody knows how to open them or how to get them to work. So they're all trying to figure shit out. Go around. Ruby's like, what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
we don't get these open up in the next 5 minutes. Basically, we're all fucking dead.
Yeah, we got to do something.
So, David puts his hands on his, right? And he's like, we're never going to make it. And just
He
lets
sighs.
out a sigh.
Yeah.
And it starts to open. And they all come back over there. So, what do you do? I have my hands right here. And I said, we're never going to make it.
And then nothing happens. He was
Man.
like,
He
man.
sighs again.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, Corbin, not come out the way."
Second sigh.
Yeah.
He says, and he breathes on it. It opens. Said, fire for fire, water for water,
Yeah.
earth for earth.
Come on. My man,
Wait, hang on. So before we get to that, we have the priest goes over to the water,
Yeah.
sweat, drops sweat on it.
Mhm.
David gets his hat, puts earth in it,
Yeah.
dumps it on there. Then we get to Ruby,
Yeah.
and
I ain't got no fire.
I mean, I smoke. My father, you smoke. And Corbin has one match left, and
Yeah.
this and I love how because the beginning of the film
Mhm.
he has one match left
Yeah.
when we first meet him.
Yeah.
So so he's like nobody breathe,
Of
and
course, right?
you can literally see Chris Tucker's like nose,
His
nostrils
nostrils
flare and shit. He drops it, it opens up. then they bring Lilu over there, but Lilu is like, what's the point? To protect life, all you guys do is destroy life.
Yeah.
So there are great things, life, this thing. He's like, love. He's like, I don't know love. And Priest like Corbin.
Yeah. You better take one for the team, boy.
Yeah, because I mean, shit, you.
I know, yeah.
That would not be a problem.
For real.
I mean, shit, you already have feelings for her,
Exactly.
so, don't do the macho bullshit, man. So
Yeah,
be
yeah.
an actual fucking man.
Yeah.
And tell how you feel.
For real.
And I
Your
love
macho bullshit will kill the whole planet.
Yeah.
Say something.
So I love you. And then he kisses her. Next thing you know,
Yeah.
all energy comes
Yeah.
out and
It's
hits,
like white light.
yeah. All the elements flare up, go
Yeah.
into her. She shoots it out. It hits the fucking Mr. Shadow death ball. It goes dormant.
Yeah.
And remember, this thing shows up every 5,000 years.
Yeah.
So don't actually kill it; just goes dormant.
Yeah.
It looks a heck of a lot like the moon.
Yeah. So then next thing after that is it's the they all who was it? It was David. He was like, yeah.
What's it, David? Yeah,
Yeah, it was David. And he's like, what's the matter with you?
Yeah.
He's like, go. And he storms out. Yeah, he storms out. The next thing is a celebration. Everyone's recuperating. They're back at the I guess they didn't move. Well, no, I guess they didn't move. I guess in this world, in this time frame.
I thought they were back on like some ship because I thought it was like the same ship where they put them back together, or they put Lilu together. They were in one of those.
They were back
tanks
at
like
the
that.
presidential palace. Or
Yeah, but no, they're in the reactor.
but yeah, I'm not talking about that. But we go. Remember, they go back and everyone's celebrating the
Oh,
president.
okay. Oh,
Monroe.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
not-
y'all talking Lilu and
I'm talking
yeah.
about them.
Yeah.
The president, everybody, they're celebrating this. Everyone's been saved.
Yeah.
The president's got all these meetings. I guess in this time frame, they gone from. I guess the president is now based in New York instead of Washington.
Yeah.
So the president got all these meetings, and he wants congratulate Corbin and Lilu and everybody. But like they're still recuperating, and then in the rejuvenation chamber. So he's like, I got like several other meetings other than this, quick. Then
mom calls.
Mom calls. So Monroe's like, Monroe's like, this woman says she's Corbin's mother. Like, give me the phone. Like, Mr. Dallas is the president. Hey, the president's an idiot. You don't even sound like the
going
president.
off on his
And he's
That's
just,
one of my favorite.
Yeah.
It's like, what the
and he gives it back to him, and then like they just leave. Then we before that, the doctor looked in and said they need
they're
5 more minutes. About 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
5 more minutes. Then
That's what he said. I got 20 more meetings.
so like and then the camera pans in, we see that they're together, they're embraced and they're happy, and then
they're happy.
and then this is where this film ends.
Yeah.
And again, like this, I mean, this is the film when it won a couple of Raspberry Awards. Again, this is a film where either you love it or you hate it. Like, Bruce Willis, for him, it's one of his favorite performances.
I don't understand the hate for this film. I don't understand.
Because even though this film has like these like different themes and stuff, the director, he went to a point, even though it has these themes, he didn't want to like hit you over the head with things.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just how some films are. Some people love it, some people hate it.
Yeah.
It's one of those films. I mean, if money wise, it made a lot of money. Critically, it got shit on when it originally came out.
I mean, this film is so I love artistic shit. I love shit outside of the norm. And I think some people, like everything to be hit standard formula. And I get bored with standard formula shit. And I think that's one of the reasons why I like this so much. Like, fuck the standard formula.
Yeah, well, IMDb gave it 7.6, which is not bad.
Yeah.
But you're right. At the time when I saw it when it came out,
Yeah, me too. Like it critically got shit on.
I loved it because it was such a unique film.
Yeah.
And it didn't. It was just amazing how a lot of people did have issues with it.
Yeah, because like it was like some people I read things that was it a true science fiction film or was it because people have issues, which is kind of weird because you have like you have films like Aliens, you have all these films where you have these great female characters, but you still do have people who have issues with that.
There are people that have problems with female leads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and,
Female leads carrying a movie, and it's
and,
like, well,
which I mean,
if you look, if you
love-
can't be, I mean, everybody's got the thing that they like or
Yeah.
whatever, and the thing that they prefer. But it's just entertainment.
Yeah.
It's just entertainment. I know some people that, you know, because of certain things don't match up scientifically or whatever. Dude, it's just entertainment. You know, relax
Yeah.
a little bit. Yeah.
Well, and also with this film about the lead, I mean, it's really a shared lead
Yeah.
between Bruce Willis and Mila.
Yeah, but well, so I guess what I needed to say was that some people have problems with her being the hero, or so it's Bruce Lee. I mean Bruce Willis. Bruce Lee. Bruce Willis is the hero of the movie, but she's this. They kind of share that title, though. They kind of share that role.
Well, she-
But
she has the
there's people
title
out there
role.
that just hate to see women
Well,
empowered. There's
well,
people
and
like
also,
that out there.
I mean, there are issues. I mean, this film came out in '97. We're 2023,
Yeah.
and there's still issues. There are like some possible hints of like trans stuff in the story with the
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
And that was another thing too.
With Ruby.
Oh, with Ruby, but also with her, with Lilu. Like some people, how she was physically. I read things about, you know, I don't know, just stereotypes about her frame, her
Her friend,
yeah, you know, her
her
look and
physique,
stuff,
yeah.
physique and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've read stuff about that.
Well, you can't please everybody.
I mean,
and you
art
shouldn't try to please
You know,
everybody.
art is subjective
Yeah.
no matter what medium
Exactly,
it is.
yeah.
I mean,
You should just make your art. People that like it, like it.
Even at this point, we've already got several films with female leads.
Yeah.
Like Alien.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Yeah.
You know, and we have very strong Princess Leia, very strong character,
Yeah.
1977. So it's not the first one, and it's a
Yeah.
shared one. So I don't know if I don't think it's really that. If there's
I mean, this is a whole bunch
It
of
was-
there's a whole
when-
bunch of different
when you-
things.
when
you know.
when you
I think
go
there's
through
confusion over what
Mhm.
and people look at it like my brother did. And it was like, wait, is this comedy or is it science fiction? Why can't it be both?
Yeah, it can be both.
I mean, but when you go back and like break down the different types of like reviews from different critics from
Yeah.
like and not just the ones over here, but just different things throughout the years talking about the film.
Yeah.
You have these certain things where people say, well, that's why they didn't like it or
Yeah.
get with it. Again, it's subjective. It's some of it I can understand, some of it I think is just bullshit. But again,
I mean, like I say, you can't please everybody.
please
People are
everybody.
gonna say the same things about our shit. Some people
Yeah.
are gonna shit on it. Some people are gonna like it.
yeah,
You know?
I mean, well, that's any film now.
Yeah.
I mean, like for example, you know, everyone knows I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm not that fond of the sequel trilogy, but at
Yeah.
the same time, I will never tell someone not to watch a Star Wars film.
Yeah.
Because I can't do that. I may
Yeah.
not agree with that story, but if you like it, that's your thing. Go for it. But I'm not going to tell you never not to watch a Star Wars film because I didn't like that film
Yeah.
or any film, whether
Yeah.
it's a science fiction, whether it's horror, whether it's action, whether it's a drama. It's because I don't necessarily like that. Like the Terrifier film, I don't like those films.
Yeah.
I don't. But I'm not gonna shit on fans or people
Yeah.
who want to go out there and watch those
Yeah.
films.
It's crazy because I was just telling David before you came that our most downloaded show is the Terrifier show.
Yeah, probably because of my rant. To be honest. Again, going back to that, just before we end this, again, I commend what's his name on him putting his story out there and like that.
Yeah.
And he's the third one's coming out next year.
Yeah.
We will review it, but I'm not also going to be honest how I feel about story.
Yeah.
My only hope is when he does that third film, hopefully he'll finally have a
story,
a clear first, second, and third act story that's cohesive and makes sense.
Yeah.
But with this film, you had a clear first, second, and third act, a clear story. You knew the stakes of the story. Good acting all the way around. And again, a lot of people who were in this film are no longer with us. And Bruce Willis himself, he's still with us.
Yeah.
But he's not
in the best condition.
No, and unfortunately, he's his condition. That's I most likely will be whenever he does pass. That most likely will be part of the reason.
The cause of his demise. Yeah,
unfortunately.
All right. Well, if we have a few questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's go with our questions. Okay. So we have one question from Sherry Ayler, who we know.
Hey, what's up, Sherry?
She also works on our crew and acts with us now. Have y'all noticed how the number 5 keeps appearing throughout the movie?
Oh, there was a reference to that. I forgot.
I lost that. Where about? I'll have to go back and watch to pay attention.
Okay. Well, because I mean, obviously, Fifth Element.
Well, yeah.
There's other 5s. I've not noticed it.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I say. I got to go back and I have to go back and check that out.
It makes sense that she would notice it.
Yeah. Well, she's a math teacher. Yeah.
But I mean, like, I think that I remember reading about that before, but it just didn't click in my head.
Yeah, it didn't click in mine.
We didn't. Yeah, we're not numbers people.
A good catch, Sherry.
Yeah, awesome catch. Awesome catch.
All right, what else do we have here? Oh, and Josh is like, trend like Star Wars? And Sherry goes, LOL for her response to our thing. Okay. Oh, and we got a nice little comment here from Jose Nieto. Love the setup, guys. Have very professional, easy to watch. That's
cool.
From Jose.
Nice.
Appreciate
he also
that.
Works with us. He was on the crew last night or the night before. Zorg got the most goofiest haircut. No,
Yeah.
Believe that. Believe that.
Oh yeah. Let's see what else we have. Score is amazing. We love the score of the film.
Yeah.
Comment, but goofy haircut. But let's be honest, that haircut fit that character.
They did fit that character. I mean, I'm not really want to talk about goofy haircuts, but because I have them all the time.
I know what you point out your hair.
Well, I know I look crazy. I do this on purpose just because I like the way it looks.
Yeah, I just put it on the screen here with this weird plastic.
Yeah.
Right,
It looks
so
like part dog collar or something.
Like I said, he
What the hell is that?
either he's just into doing implants or he got some fucked up accident and he just did get a bunch of implants.
Yeah. They don't really go in. They don't
no.
tell you about that at all. I wonder that would be a question I would have if I ever got to meet the director. What is his backstory? Why
Like I
is
said, this was originally a 400-page script, so there's probably a lot.
I'm pretty sure there's a
twice too much
backstory.
stuff that was supposed to be in that couldn't be in it.
Sherry says here it fits his personality, so she's responding to that. Let's see, goofiest haircut. I'm trying to think what else we got. Just some nice comments about our setup. There's a lot of great sci-fi out there. I want to hear. Oh, okay. Josh was listing his favorite sci-fi films.
Okay.
Battle Angel, Fifth Element, Galaxy Quest, one of mine for sure. Jurassic Park, Empire. I'm assuming Empire Strikes Back. And I guess he wants to hear from us. But what are your top 5 sci-fi movies?
Terminator is definitely one of them because Terminator is a science fiction film.
Mm-hmm.
Aliens is definitely one of them.
Those are definitely two of my. Mine is gonna have to also be the Alien versus Predator. That gets us in another thing, but I love those also. Just Predator, period.
Oh yeah,
that's
Predator.
still just
the
let's just
original.
say Predator.
Well, the first two, I love the first two Predators.
I love all the Predator movies except for the one before Predators. That thing, the one before Predators. It was the one after.
That was Rec Room.
No, not Rec Room. So it's the one afterward, and then the one with the dog, like the Predator type dog, and it bumped his head, and it was like really goofy and stuff. Like have you not? That was Alien. That was Alien versus Predators.
Well, no, there's Alien versus Predators, Alien versus Predator, Rec Room, and then there is.
So this is a Predator movie. So the Predator comes. There's this suit that helps them. That you put on this mechanical suit. And it just attaches to your body and it helps you fight predators. You hadn't seen that?
That's the one with I didn't. That's the one with the head
that one's not good.
That one's called
The Predator. That's
okay,
the
that
Predator.
one's not good.
Yeah, that one was highly edited. There was a whole character, the whole subplot.
Yeah, the whole thing with the retarded alien dog or whatever. I was like, no, that's not cool. That's not cool.
That was
and the alien, the Predator itself, it looked terrible. The Predator was all CG, and it just looked terrible. It's like, no, bring back the regular Predator. What are you guys doing? This is not what's happening right here. This is not what's up.
I didn't see that one because it was again there.
You didn't miss nothing
because that film had Edward James almost was supposed to be in there. They completely cut out his character. He had a major important character in that film. That's the one that had what's his name?
Did they cut him out? Because it seemed like it had been something he would said, nah, I'm gonna pass on this one right here.
No, like if
Because it just wasn't good.
no, they that film was highly edited. They cut out a lot of stuff from that film that was supposed to. They cut out the whole subplot, the whole character that was in the originals. That was Robert Rodriguez. No, Robert Rodriguez did Predators, but
The Predators is awesome.
I've
I've watched that like 4 times already.
but and that film unfortunately suffered from. That was Shane Black actually,
Mm.
who wrote the original Predator.
Yeah.
I remember him saying that he had a lot of issues with studio conflicts. There, if they would have had the whole subplot with Edward James almost in there,
might have strengthened it.
Yeah, because again, it's.
I think it probably still would have been trash because of that CG Predator, but just not.
I mean, Shane Black created the Predator character, so I will always, he created that character. He's responsible for Lethal Weapon. He's also responsible for Iron Man 3, which to me is my
nice guys.
Yeah, and for me, Iron Man 3 is Iron Man 1's still probably my favorite, but Iron Man 3 is definitely, I think, the best out that out of that trilogy. But yeah, I don't really blame him for that. I blame what he had to go through with the studio for that. There was a lot of shit involved.
Yeah.
Because you would think having the guy who created the Predator come back in, you would think, well, it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger was supposed to be in it too, but then I think he turned down or something happened.
Okay.
So we got one more reference here. Sherry saying, did y'all catch the RoboCop references?
I feel like
well, there's a lot of references.
I feel like I did catch some RoboCop references.
If you watch this film, you can see inspiration from Star Wars. You can see inspiration from all different kind of things, just in the actual aesthetic of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like this is a classic film for me. I've loved it since I was a kid. Definitely still holds up today.
Yeah.
Again, this was Mila's breakout film. This is what basically got her noticed.
Definitely got to notice.
But yeah, man. So I mean,
this wasn't really about murder and mayhem. There was a little bit of murder.
Mayhem.
There was definitely
mayhem. But in this case, it was not about murder. It was about survival of life. So so survival and mayhem and survival has been satisfied. Because the human race survived.
Yep, we're gonna call it for the night. Couple of weeks we'll be back at it with another episode. Love, peace, and hair grease. And we out.
13 Ghosts, the next episode.
Yep.
See you guys.
That was about it.
All righty, and we are out.
About an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not sure.